Hi, my name is Christiana Holcomb, and I'm legal counsel with Alliance Defending Freedom. Girls should not have to compete for second place in their sports. But unfortunately, across the country, we have athletic associations that are allowing biological males to come in and to dominate women's sports. And that has a really devastating impact on female athletes. We're watching as young women are losing out on state championship titles, on medals, podium spots, potential scholarship opportunities, all because of bad policies that allow males to just identify as female and to compete in the girls' category. Well, it's this problem that the state of Idaho wanted to fix. So Idaho passed its Fairness in Women's Sports Act earlier this year. And the law does a really simple thing. It ensures that if you have a sports team designated for women or girls, that only biological girls compete on that team, so that young women have a fair and a level playing field from which to showcase their talents. But predictably, just a couple weeks after the law passed, the ACLU challenged it in federal court, and they're asking a federal judge to strike down the law as unconstitutional. Well, Alliance Defending Freedom wants to make sure that the voices of female athletes are heard in this case. We want to ensure that the court hears from the lived experience of young women who have actually competed against and lost to biological males competing in their category. That's why it's our privilege to represent two brave female athletes, Madison Kenyon and Mary-Kate Marshall, both of whom compete at Idaho State University on the cross-country and track teams.
I'm doing this because I think it's the best way for me to stand up for something I believe in and to fight for fair competition for women and let all the other girls out there know that we have a right and the ability to stand up and preserve these opportunities that should be protected.
I'm standing up because this is the best way to fight for women and to protect and keep a fair and equal playing field.
In late July, the federal court heard oral arguments on 3 questions. Number 1, the Alliance Defending Freedom's request to get involved in the case as parties and represent the voices of female athletes. Number 2, the request from the state of Idaho to dismiss the case entirely. And number 3, the ACLU's request to stop the Fairness in Women's Sports Act from taking effect. Well, I'm glad to report that the federal judge decided to allow Mary-Kate Marshall and Madison Kenyon to participate in the case as parties. What that means is that their voices will be heard by the court, that their experience competing against male athletes will be considered by the judge as he evaluates whether or not the Fairness in Women's Sports Act is good law. The court also did enter an injunction against the Fairness in Women's Sports Act. What that means is that the law is on hold while the lawsuit continues and moves forward. But what this also means is really a negative impact for female athletes in Idaho. This means that while the lawsuit moves forward, biological males can try out for and can compete in girls' sports. So young women are at risk of losing out on those top spots on the podium, on those medals, on those championship victories that they should fairly earn. So it's a disappointing move on behalf of the court, but the case doesn't stop here. Alliance Defending Freedom is committed to moving forward and protecting the integrity of women's sports. We'll continue to make the best arguments to the court for why the Fairness in Women's Sports Act is both constitutional and consistent with the purpose and the promise of Title IX. So I encourage you to keep up with the case, and for more information to visit adflegal.org.